and gentlemen, to kick off today's sessions, it gives me a great pleasure to invite Puan Rasmi Ramli, Executive Director, Sustainability, Digital Economy and Services MIA, to provide more details on the exciting MIA SMP Digital Accelerator program. Puan Rasmi Ramli leads initiative in sustainability and the digital economy, including the implementation of the MIA Sustainability Blueprint for the accountancy profession and MIA Digital Technology Blueprint. She oversees technical functions related to financial reporting and taxation at MIA and serves as a technical advisor to the International Public Sector Accounting Standard Board (IPSASB). She is also a member of the MFRS Application and Implementation Committee (MPIC) and the Government Accounting Standards Advisory Committee (GASAC). With prior experience as an auditor in the UK and Malaysia as an internal auditor at Messrs Berhad, she is a member of MIA and a fellow of ACCA. She holds a degree from the University of Wales, Cardiff, UK. Puan Rasmi, the floor is yours.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. Thank you, Nat, for the introduction. Really looking forward to share the overview with all of you. I hope you are feeling as excited as myself. If you do, please give me some reaction so that I can see that you are as excited as me this morning for this particular program, the SMP Digital Accelerator program. And for your information, we actually, the Digital Technology Implementation Committee spent some time in terms of looking at the design of this program. Also talk about the appropriate name for this program, and finally they settled for the MIA SMP Digital Accelerator program. So welcome to the program, and let me start my presentation. Next slide. Well, in any digital webinar, if you may observe that we always start with the MIA Digital Technology Blueprint. Although this is back in 2018, the blueprint has been guiding us in terms of all of our efforts in digitalization of the accountancy profession here in Malaysia. And if I can just remind everyone, the blueprint is really to aims to guide accountants to develop your action plan that are appropriate in your organization, as well as depending on your roles in that organization. And I just want to highlight about there are four sectors of MIA MIA members in Malaysia, and one of it is the public practice. And of course, our main focus today is on the small and medium practitioners as yourself. So here we can see the aspiration for the public practice members are to retain, reimagine and innovate practices and services. And I think we will be able to hear from the experts later today during the panel session, because we do have two practitioners in the panel session. And in that blueprint, there are 5 principles that we are advocating, as you can see from the slide, which are assessing digital technology trends, identify your capabilities, harness digital technology. So this is really where you implement technology in your organization. It also covers funding, and finally, it talks about the importance of governance in any technology adoption. Next slide. I just apologize first. So I do have coughing. So I hope I don't have that much during this presentation. But apologize if I need to drink or I need to have some quiet a few seconds in order for me to recover from the coughing. All right, so what I would like to do next is to share with you some of the MIA digital initiatives that we have done for the SMPs. Of course, we have started it much earlier before, but what I'm going to share with you are some of the initiative that we have done for the past 3 to 4 years, so that you have the understanding of what has been done in relation to SMPs digital initiatives. So the first one that you see here is we actually issued out the digital competency maturity model, and this is really for a tool that can assess the digital competency maturity of the SMPs. The DCMM tool was first designed by the Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants, and then the European Institute then adopted it and make it specific for the small and medium practitioners. So we then work with the European Institute, and then we roll out this particular digital competency maturity model, or we call it in short DCMM, which is specific for SMPs. We rolled that out in 2021. Not so many responses that we got. So we did a webinar in 2021, and due to the lack of response, we then did another webinar back in 2022. And for the 2022 webinar, we got more responses. More than 500 SMPs attended that webinar, and more than 200 participants actually really respond to the DCMM, really assess their competency. So we got some information in terms of where the SMPs maturity are at in terms of digital. Next slide. Yeah, so we already at the next slide. So in 2023, we also did a workshop in collaboration with MDEC, and this is really to create awareness on the full potential of digital technologies for SMPs. And in 2024, following the decision of the DTAA winners, we then did a sharing session with 50 SMP members, where 3 of the top excellence winners of MI's DTAA in the SMP category share their digital transformation journey. That was in June 2024. And this is really to share experience, to share insights, so that SMPs are keen to continue their digital technology adoption. Next. In addition to those webinars, on an annual basis, we have been doing MIE Digital Month. It was started back in 2022. So now we have done this for 4 years consecutively, which is a month-long convention focusing on digitalization of the accountancy profession in Malaysia. The program showcased a weekly complimentary webinar for 4 weeks featuring expert speakers from various industries. And the objective of MDM is really to create awareness on various MIE initiatives, share case studies on digital adoption and technology trends, as well as equip attendees with inspiring and revolutionary insights in relation to digital transformation. And you can see on the screen in terms of the list of topics that we have covered for the last 4 years. And in 2026, we're going to have another MIE Digital Month very, very soon. Next slide. In 2017 and 2019, some of you may have participated in the technology survey that MIE did. And some of you may have also won the lucky draws that came with it. And the result of the 2017 and 2019 survey has provided us insight in terms of the public practice indicated that there is high business cost in relation to adopting technology, which is a barrier of adopting technology. And the same result we also see in terms of the International Federation of Accountants Global SMP Survey, and it provides us the same insight as well. And as MRA, we are fully aware that SMPs and even small medium enterprises typically lack the resources to have a dedicated function to tackle technology and technology adoption. And therefore, SMPs and SMPs are unlikely to develop their own to have their own IT department, and also to adopt mature technologies compared to other bigger organizations. So because of that, we then develop this guidance on software and software vendor selection to really assist the SMPs and the SMEs in relation to what are the factors that they need to consider when they want to select the software that they want to use, as well as the software vendor that they want to appoint. In addition to the guidance, we also produce the software vendor database. And in this software vendor database, we list down, I think when we first did it, that was about 70 vendors that we have, and this particular database has been refreshed, and we now have more than 90 vendors in various areas such as auditing software, accounting software, practice management software, KYC, etc. So you can actually find the refreshed database. It's no longer a PDF document, but it is you can find it in the sub-page in our digital economy page on the MRA website. Next slide. If you see from the principle that I have shared earlier, principle 4 of the technology blueprint establishes the importance of funding in the digital transformation process. And of course, as I mentioned, cost has been consistently identified as one of the top barriers in adopting technology when we did the survey with our members. And one of the MRA initiatives in the past is to identify the availability of funding. So when you are already in this space for quite some time, you may have noticed that we have been talking about the SME digitalization grant, as well as smart automation grant that were offered by the MDEC for a number of years. And we are aware that some of our members took this opportunity to actually get the grant that you see on the slide here. Next slide. And the last one that I want to mention here is on the Digital Technology Adoption Awards that we did for the first time. We introduced it in 2023, and in 2024, we actually had the DTAA presentation dinner. And the scope of this DTAA is really to recognize remarkable achievements of technology application of the accountancy profession here in Malaysia, including those in public practice. And you can see our long journey here, where we started, we did this back in 21 and 2022, and finally we had that presentation dinner in 2024. And the feeling of seeing this particular program being implemented, and we saw that the winners of the DTAA is really very meaningful to us here in MRA, and we are inspired with all the DTAA winners, including the SMPs who have won the DTAA awards. Next slide. So what will happen next? Recently, the Digital Technology Implementation Committee has agreed to rebrand the Digital Technology Adoption Awards DTAA to MRA Digital Tech Awards, and this is really coming this year. So stay tuned for more information on the awards and wait for it launch this year. Next slide. And another initiative that I would like to share is in relation to contents that we have been producing. There are various contents, technology related topics coming from either articles in the EAT, or even videos that you can see on our YouTube channel. So please go into EAT. Please look at our YouTube channel to really see all these videos as well as the articles. A lot of the articles are coming from the various webinars and programs that we have. So if you do actually miss some of those webinars, you can actually read about it in the EAT, as well as the video series. You also get some industry experts, technology vendors to actually talk about some of the technology areas. So where you can find short videos and you can watch it. Next slide. Now, let me introduce you to the SMP Digital Accelerator program. So there are two objectives of the program. One is to enhance and accelerate SMP to understand digital adoption. And number two is to enable SMP to sorry. So I think there is this mix of the objective here. So these are the two objectives where the program aims to equip SMPs with necessary insights, and there is also mentorship to enhance the processes to overcome key challenges and achieve sustainable growth through digital transformation. Next slide. Who is our target group of this program? So for information, we are looking at a maximum of 35 SMPs who have embarked on their technology adoption journey regardless of the current stage of progress. So what we are saying that we are not looking at the SMPs who just want to start technology adoption. They need to start first. They either have done some technology adoption before and now they are doing the next technology adoption, or they actually have started their first technology adoption. So we would like to get those SMPs who have started something in relation to technology adoption. Next slide. There are a number of selection criteria. So you can see here there are 9 selection criteria. The first one, when you apply for this program, you must be a member firm of MIE. You must be a registered firm of MIE. It could be an audit firm. It could be a non-audit firm. And then number 2, partners of the participating firms must be MIE members in good standing and comply with the necessary CPE requirements. And we do have this criteria to see whether are you really committed to be in this program. And this is demonstrated by looking at the firms where the partners are MIE members in good standing with fully compliance of the CPE requirements. The next criteria is the participant must be a small and medium practitioner with less than 10 partners. Criteria for the participating firms must be in operation for at least 12 months at the time of your application. Number 5, the participant must agree to all terms and conditions of this program. Number 6, the participants must have embarked on or is embarking on the digital technology adoption. So this is the one that I mentioned earlier. Number 7, the participant must be able to clearly identify your existing business challenges, your pain points, as well as key takeaways that you intended to achieve through the program. Number 8, the technology adoption must be within the program's defined scope of automation. So I will share that more later. And number 9, the adoption must be carried out between June and September 2026. Next. Now, the scope of automation. So there are a number of technology that you can adopt for the purpose of this program. This includes AI. It also includes cybersecurity, data analytics, as well as any sustainability or ESG related solutions. In relation to automation, we know this is a bit wide. So if you see the note here, we are looking at, it could be you are adopting accounting software, audit software, practice management system, system integration, or any other automation relevant to your practice. Next slide. Now, let's look at the program structure. So quite a long structure here, and we need you to be aware of the program structure. So the program starts with the introductory webinar. So this is the webinar that we have today. To give you an overview of the program and the participation details. Then what will happen after this is the application period, which will run from 15 January to 28 February. So you have about 1.5 months in order to work on your application. But I will really recommend that you try to submit as early as possible. Then there will be a review and selection. And successful applicants will be notified. After the selection, there will be a physical workshop. And it is a full day workshop. Participants are required to apply the knowledge and skills acquired during the workshop to the development and enhancement of their organization's digital transformation plan. After the physical workshop, there will be mentoring sessions. So there will be 3 personalized mentoring sessions. And the SMPs will then need to be to coordinate the session with the mentor based on their availability. There is also a funding available. And in this, so there will be a maximum fund of 5,000 ringgit that will be provided on reimbursement basis. After that, there will be reporting, where each SMP is required to complete a report on the impact of the technology adoption on their practice. And the feedback is to be submitted after 6 to 12 months of the technology implementation. And finally, there will be a case study article published on the MIA website to highlight each SMP's digital adoption journey with the program. Next slide. In relation to the 5,000 maximum funding, it will be dispersed in 2 stages, 60% upon submission of supporting documents for technology adopted during the grant utilization phase, and the remaining 40% after the completion of the required report, which is the 6 to 12 months after the technology adoption. Next slide. Now, I mentioned about where you need to send the report in terms of what is the impact of your technology adoption. So in that report, you then need to assess your technology adoption based on these 7 success metrics from revenue up to staff morale, satisfaction of customers, etc. So revenue could be, how much increase in terms of your revenue, or is there a change in your mix of revenue? How much cost you're able to save? What about in terms of is there an increase in productivity and efficiency in your practice coming from the technology adoption? So we will share about this more later when we have more of the programs later. Next slide. Now, we would like to share with you in terms of the benefits that you will be receiving in this program. So, of course, there will be a webinar and workshop, as I shared earlier. There will be that 3 personal mentoring sessions, and we really feel that this is really a very good benefit of this program, because this is a really hands-on session, and you will get an expert to actually help you in your technology adoption, so that you can actually ask questions. You can actually ask them to share their experience during your mentoring sessions. And there will be also enhancement of the digital transformation plan for the SMPs, which is really customized, specific to your practice. You also get access to industry experts. So this is really coming from your mentors. The mentors could be another practitioner who have done their technology adoption. It could also be an industry expert. It could also be a technology provider. Of course, I've mentioned about the 5,000 maximum funding. And finally, if you success in terms of your technology adoption, you will be able to feature your adoption in that case study article. And this is really an opportunity for you to showcase your digital technology adoption effort, as well as increase and strengthen your branding. Next slide. What about the intangible benefits? So of course, the way that the program has been designed, so there will be a knowledge transfer where you can learn directly from the industry experts. So you will also increase your confidence and technology adoption because you are not doing this alone. You have your fellow 34 practitioners also on the same journey, as well as you also have the support of the mentors. There will be networking opportunities. There is also long-term business growth. You also increase your reputation because you are adopting technology, and you can have the opportunity to showcase your technology adoption. And finally, there will be that continuous support and guidance throughout the program. Next. These are the submission requirements. So I don't intend to go through in detail, but here what you can see is in terms of your personal details, your digital adoption in terms of what are the tools and technologies that you are currently adopting, and what is your digital adoption journey so far. You also need to share in terms of what is your adoption plan, and what are the key challenges that you face that has resulted for you to proceed with your technology adoption. And finally, you also need to share your digital transformation roadmap with us. And finally, we would like you to share your expected takeaways in terms of what are the specific outcomes that you hope to achieve from this program. So you can see all of this information in the sub-page that my colleague will share later. Next. And finally, the application will open on 15 January 2026. You can scan here when you want to access the sub-page. So all the best in your application. Look forward to receive your application, and please let us know if you have any question or you require any clarification in relation to the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paras Mimi. Before we proceed with our panel discussion, I would like to invite Ms. Diana Junaidi from the Digital Economy Department to briefly walk us through the MIA SMP Digital Accelerator Program sub-page. Over to you, Ms. Diana.
Thank you, Nadira, and good morning to all participants. I will briefly navigate you on the webpage for the MIA SMP Digital Accelerator Program. First of all, you can search the MIA website on your preferred search engine. And from the homepage here, you can click on the Knowledge and Center and Resources and go to the Digital Economy. And from here, you can see on the left side of the panel, the SMP Digital Accelerator Program, where you can click here, and all the program details that which was explained earlier will be here. All the objective, the target group, selection criteria, and so on. And as you scroll down further, you will see the terms and conditions as well as the submission checklist. So once you click here on the submission checklist, you will be able to view all the documents that you will need to provide to us for this program. And then if you are ready to submit the application, you can click on here, which the application will open on 15 January 2026. So once you click on that, you will be directed to a Google form where you can complete and submit all the required information. So we encourage all the SMPs to review the details carefully and submit their application when ready. So the link to the webpage will be shared with you in the chat box soon. So with that, I'll pass back to our MC Nadira to continue the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Diana. Ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed, I would like to gently remind everyone that you can submit your questions on the program for the panelists at any time using the Pigeonhole app. Simply log on to www.pigeonhole.at and enter the passcode SMP2026 to post your questions in there. We will be addressing your questions after the panel session. Without further ado, let's begin our panel sessions on digital transformation for sustainable growth. This session will be moderated by Professor Dr. David Accelerator, Chair of Digital Technology Implementation Committee DTIC MIA. Professor Dr. David is a professor of practice at the Asia Business School. He is an academic and a practitioner in the area of AI and information technology. With 30 years of experience in academic leadership and CTO roles, his expertise spans neural networks, AI, IT strategy development and implementation, and e-learning technologies. At the national level, he has held multiple leadership roles, including chair of the ICT Human Capital Development Initiative under the 11th Malaysia Plan. Internationally, Professor Dr. David has contributed to numerous IT project implementations across countries such as South Africa, Sudan, Iran, Ghana, Kenya, Vietnam, Maldives, and many others. Joining him as our distinguished panelists today are Mr. Stephen Chong, Member Digital Technology Implementation Committee DTIC MIA. Stephen was a past MIA Council member and was the founding chair of the MIA Digital Economy Task Force and DTIC. He is the founder of Ledger Brains GA Alliance, an award-winning regional technology startup in the fintech and accounting technology space. He is also the managing partner of Morrison LC PLT, a member of Morrison Global, a leading international association of professional service firms, ranked as the 9th largest association in the world with a total revenue of over $1 billion. Stephen is a fellow member of CPA Australia, ACA of the ICAEW UK, and 2 master's degree holder from Victoria University, Australia. Our second panelist is Mr. Stay Wilswan, audit partner HLB Lerlam Chupi LT. Wilswan brings over a decade of experience in audit and assurance. He began his career in 2009, including a significant tenure at a Big Four accounting firm and a 3-year stint in Singapore, managing clients across industries such as gaming, manufacturing, trading, FMCG, oil and gas services, property development, and multimedia. Wilswan's expertise extends to specialized engagement, including financial due diligence and review of prospective financial information and pro forma financial statements, where his meticulous approach and strategic insight have supported corporate initiative and ensured regulatory compliance. Professor Dr. David, the floor is now yours.
Okay, thank you, Nurul. Can you hear me very clearly?
Yes, we can hear you,
Okay,
Professor.
all right, thank you. Good morning to all the participants, okay, and thank you for joining this panel session. I hope this session will be beneficial to you. I know you have taken time to join, okay, hope, okay, you benefit, okay, from this session. And we have our distinguished panel, okay, Stephen and Tay, right? I think Nurul has introduced them, but maybe okay, to justify, maybe I will ask Stephen and Tay to introduce, okay, some of the technology adoption, okay, perspective and what they have, the experience that they have. Maybe Stephen, you want to start first?
Thank you, Doctor.
Maybe in
As
1 minute. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
yes, sir. As Nadira shared a bit, I've been quite involved in the technology journey here at MIA. I was just counting with my 126 friends, being Mr. Huang and Mr. Ranga, that we are stepping into our 10th year since when we were elected into council a decade ago. In my own capacity, I do have a technology company both here and in Hong Kong. So we dabble in bookkeeping related technology. So what I have been toying with in most recent times is using AI to automate the bookkeeping process, basically. Of course, back at the audit side of things, I dare not say we have gone very, very deep into latest technologies such as AI, but we are also using large language models to do technical interpretation, not so much to provide professional opinion, but for our own library purposes, for our internal references. But I guess I'll pause there. I'm sure we can flesh out more and more things in terms of what Wei Xuan and myself are
Okay, thank you, Stephen. Okay, I think you are in the forefront of technology when it comes to the accounting area. That's good to hear. I mean, you have a couple of companies, okay, working on that. Mr. Tay, what do you want to introduce in terms of the experience in the technology area?
Hi, good morning, everybody. Happy New
Morning.
Year. So, actually, as compared to Stephen, I'm really a newbie in terms of this environment. But however, it's just that I would say that because of the disruption coming from AI, the movement of digitalization that has been in this forefront, right? So and because I was also part of the digital adoption awards, the task force that was actually as part of the adjudicator as well. So what actually really drives me is that actually I see a lot of opportunity, at the same time also a lot of risks arising from this. So that's why it's required that we learn ahead. We need to be ready for what is going to be coming. So I think from my perspective, that I'm not really the technology guy, because I am not a developer. I'm not the real tech guy, but I like technology. So I'm the one that looks after the IT department for my firm. So I am the one that tried to drive the firm in terms of try to go into certain digitalization, and then at the same time to have certain AI adoption. So I'll share later on when we go into some of the panel questions. We will share a bit more from that perspective. But that is a little steps that I'm also taking. So maybe that will be a bit more relatable to the SMPs members here. Yeah. All right.
Okay. So Tete was trying to be very humble. I mean, he's led the IT department, so I'm sure he's quite good in the AI and all the other areas. Okay, let's maybe people are talking about AI, AI becoming more intelligent than human. I mean, there's so much of hype about the AI. So my question is, okay, to the panelists is that do you think AI will replace most accountants? I mean, this is a question that many accountants do ask me as well. And why do you think that human will still play a vital role, okay, in accounting in the future? Maybe Stephen, you want to start?
Doctor, may I request for Wei Xuan to start first, then I'll play by ear based on what he says.
So you can twist a bit, huh?
Okay.
Alright.
Say, do you want to start? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, sure. In fact, actually, just yesterday, my fellow partners was sharing in terms of some article regarding AI replacing accountants, right? Or the fact is that they are saying that AI cannot replace accountants. My point here would be, my perspective is that AI can replace a fair bit of accountants, maybe from the repetitive work type of accountants they can replace, but at the same time they are also able to replace people that is very they are able to replace accountants that are not very well versed with technology and AI. So in other words, is that an accountant that is very well versed with AI and technology will eventually be replacing the accountants that are not well versed with it. So that would be my take, because I don't see AI as a replacement, but I see AI as a tool in a way that helps to enhance and speed up the learning curves in terms of enhancing the process flow, in terms of learning in general. Because last time when we were looking for certain information, we have to go through Google, right? And Google may not give you the answer, and you have to go dig through step by step and understand the flow. But however, now with AI, it can give you a bit of a summary, a jump start to that fact. But however, it is also requires that judgment and professional judgment and knowledge to understand whether or not what that information was given to us is applicable, and also at the same time it is genuine or wrong. Because personally, I also use AI a lot to like what Stephen have shared. We actually use it to as a database. We use it to challenge the accounting treatment. Referencing to MFRS. But however,
Mm.
they will still give wrong answers and give unreasonable answers, but they'll say it as if it's this. So that is where we as the professional understanding the concept and give that to refine that understanding. Yeah. So I would say that it will replace a lot of repetitive work, but however,
Mm.
it will not be able to replace people that is very good with AI. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so your view is definitely okay. AI will not
Mm.
replace accounting, right? I mean, it may
Yeah.
replace some of the task, but not the
Yes.
accounting.
Yes. Yes.
Stephen, what's your view on this?
Yeah, Doctor, if I may, in my usual naughty way, I mean, I take the view that a lot of these headlines are the publicity people playing with words to gain traction and get clickbait I mean, for all of us, how many? 284 of us. If you're a practitioner worth your salt, I mean, we have to deal with so much complexities in accounting, in our clients' work, in all the rules and standards that keep changing like nobody's business. I mean, these are not exactly things that technology can adapt to just overnight, just like that. Of course, having said that, later in one of the questions, I think we will discuss a little bit more about models, AI models as well. So maybe we'll venture a bit into whether it's possible to come up with accounting AI models specific that will really replace people. But I just want to emphasize this point that we all know very, very well that the complexity is crazy. And to Weishen's point, yes, it's all about efficiency. And this is what we do with our accountants. How do we utilize our time cost in the most efficient manner? And technology is a fantastic, fantastic proven tool to help us achieve that. Especially more so in a time where we are always complaining and whining and jumping about the difficulty of getting started. Okay. I'll pause there. Back to you, Doctor.
Okay, great. And maybe since my background is also in AI, I studied AI in 1990, all right? So I developed my own model in 1990 when I was in UK. But AI is not new. I mean, it started in 1950s, all right? So I've been following, okay, and using AI all this while. Definitely, AI will be more intelligent than human. That is given. It's just a matter of time. Whether it will take over your job, maybe it will take over a lot of our tasks, maybe even up to 70-80% of the tasks that we do. But actually, the role of the accountant, just like even doctors or lawyers and so on, you still need these people because it is still the human that have to decide. As I think Stephen mentioned, there's so much of complexity. There's judgment. There's what is right or wrong. All this still human will be responsible. All right. So we need to move people from a tactical level to strategic level. So humans will need to do more strategic and all the tactical jobs like using Excel, calculation, repetitive tasks, all will be done probably by AI. That's the thing. So don't have to worry. Accountants still will be needed, definitely. Okay. And our productivity will continue to improve. That's how the direction is. Now let's move on to in terms of the value proposition that is created by this technology. So digital transformation is just not about buying software and installing it and using it. So a lot of people just buy some tools and then they start using it. That doesn't mean you are digitally transformed. So maybe to the panelists is what factors need to be taken into account when considering digital transformation for SMP? You may share some of your experience, if possible. Yeah. Stephen, do you want to start this time?
Yes, sir. Sure. I just want to borrow Rasmimi's slide from the earlier session where she also recapped on the digital blueprint that the committee published many donkey years ago. But the interesting thing is I reckon it is still relevant To just recap or refresh one more time the steps that we talk about, the 5 steps that we talk about in terms of this blueprint, whereby when we adopt technology as an accountant, what are the things we think about? Number 1, we assess the technology, we assess the trend. Number 2, we identify what is our capability. What are the existing capabilities and strengths that we already have that will match well with the trends, the mega trends, and whatever the latest available technology is. And number 3, harness that technology that matches your capabilities the most. Now, within the audience, I'm sure we have auditors. We have auditors who specialize in MFRS work, specialize in MPERS work. We also have people maybe from corporate or formerly from corporate, or those of you providing advisory services where you are very, very deep into costing, budgeting, financial models, valuation projections, and so on. Each of us here have different training, different experience, albeit we are all members of MIA. That knowledge and capability that you have to find your unique formula to harness that technology. So when it comes back to the doctor's question about value proposition, I think we are all accountants, we are very practical people. So the question is, how do we apply that practicality into a business mindset as well? I'm sure you have heard someone mention before that you're running a business also, ma. Yes, we are professional, but we are also running a business, right? So if I put it in a very, very blunt and unprofessional word, I mean, from a businessman point of view, then why are we adopting this technology? Why do we choose this technology? Why is this technology critical to us? And eventually it comes back to revenue model lah. So what is it going to contribute to our revenue? Okay, fair enough. I don't want to think in terms of revenue because I want to do my job well first. Okay, fair enough. Then cost off. Then can you use the technology to reduce unnecessary costs? And most importantly, again, efficiency. How do we increase efficiency? Because for sure, due to the complexity, due to the compliance requirement, we are always burdened and bogged down by a lot of additional work simply because of compliance. So we get our revenue because of compliance, but we are also sometimes not efficient because of compliance. Okay, do or die, that's the business. If I may also share a bit in terms of experience, I think first and foremost, let's be relevant. I mean, technology keeps evolving. We have to evolve. The market is evolving. Our staff are evolving. Our talents are evolving. Our clients are evolving. And our job is to problem solve. We are here to problem solve for our clients. So in order to do all those things, we need to be relevant. So the question is, are we still relevant if we just follow last year? And be careful whether your follow last year is you follow 2024's work, or actually you graduated 25 years ago and you follow last year of what you learned as an intern. Dr. Kajit.
Okay, that's great input. All right. Tay, do you want to add on to that?
I think in terms of like what is mentioning, I'll be a bit from a different perspective from Stephen, but I'm a bit more direct in the sense that whenever anybody is trying to look into technology, trying to look into transformation in this, right, is that while practicality is that, yeah, definitely first thing first is to see where you are spending the most time on, right, where you can consider cutting time on, and say, for example, is that most of the time is your team members are spending a lot of time in terms of doing verification work, vouching work, etc. Then the focus for you then is to tackle that first, right? You tackle one thing at a time so that you won't be able to be, because one problem is that if you buy too much software at one go, you can't utilize everything, right? And then you will be like, oh, I'm paying this big, the main thing is that always coming from a budget perspective, oh, I'm paying 10,000 for this, 20,000 for this, but I'm not utilizing all of the functions. So then you break it into bite-sized perspective. So whatever that you can do first, you kill off one of the small issues first. Then you move on to the next one. So one of the approach that I did for our team is that we do one thing at a time, and we identify where are our key issues at. So from operational perspective, example in terms of like verification while vouching work, right? So came across a software that are able to actually assist to do snipping work, and then at the same time they are able to do FS the cross the casting work, and then cross-referencing, and then ensuring tying back to prior years. All those, while it is done by a junior, which they can take up 1 day's time to do it, but at a click of a button, that actually has been done, right? But of course, it's not complete, it's not 100%, and therefore, the second step is where the junior can just do a double checking. Similarly, from the snipping tools, is that when data are being extracted, right, it helps to really save a lot of time, because instead of keying the numbers, it becomes just double checking the numbers, looking left and right. So a personal experience that I have with this tool is that like in the prior I did something for an AUP. So I did an AUP on myself, because during that period of time it was actually a very peak season for the team, and I couldn't pull anybody out from the job. So then it's also a first year AUP, so I had to design the process. So I took it on myself, and then I said, okay, it's not a lot of samples, let me do it myself. So in the first year, when I executed it, took me about probably 1 to 2 weeks in totality, or probably like including designing, discussion, and then plus the execution of the AUP, etc. Right. But the coming year, in the recent year, the same AUP, right? I wasn't very scared, because I know that I had that snipping tool there already. So what I did was, actually, I get the data from the client, I get all the information ready, I completed the thing extraction in 1 day. And then I just do a double check-in with the client, everything done, 2 days, the work is done. So comparing with a 2 weeks time, comparing it to a 2 days period, right? So that kind of savings you can get. Of course, I may be a bit, of course, the first year there is some additional issues where the discussion and coming up with the process lah. But you say verification maybe from 1 week become a 2 days thing. Yeah. So that helps to enhance one side of the process. And then with that experience, that I propose that to my partners, I say, this is actually a good tool. And in fact, actually I use that tool very often for myself to make sure that the quality is there. So I would suggest what everybody can do is that look at your pain points, look at what is the one that you have the most problems with, spending most time with, tackle those issues. Maybe tackle that one first. Then after that, only you go into the next one. So then you will feel that there's progress in your process, and you will slowly trust technology adoption moving forward. Yeah, that's back to you.
Okay, thank you, Tay and Stephen. I mean, I think you heard from the experts. Definitely, technology will help. All right, definitely, technology improve productivity, efficiency, and even save costs. Of course, initially there is an investment into the software and the tools. You need to do the ROI to ensure that you break even within 1 or 2 years. All right, so that's important. All right. And the scale of AI is also going to be big. For example, I heard this from the MIT professor. A company with 50,000 workers, in 3 to 4 years' time, they probably need 50 workers. So that's the level of productivity AI can introduce. So it's a great opportunity for SMPs, all right, for you to adopt this technology and improve your productivity, save costs, right, as well, right? So I think there's a huge opportunity. Now, moving on to, because in any adoption of a technology, there are always challenges. So many SMPs face constraints like budget, technical expertise are not there, limited awareness of how the emerging technology and their impact on their business, and so on. So there are quite a lot of challenges when they want to adopt. So what would be your advice to these SMPs to tackle some of these barriers? Tay, you want to start this time?
Okay, Ken. So I think the first thing is really the budget. The key problem is always the budget that you will face, that you can't get it through the management or the overall partnerships, right? So I think the key thing, and then if you say you want to do an ROI on that that particular item is actually also very difficult because you can't really establish that. So how I pitched for the recent that software that I've mentioned earlier was that I look at how many people I replace and how many associates that I replace, right? Do I see the value in terms of replacing that associate, those one or two associates, right? And having said that is that what I did was I did a costing on that. Say this is worth like one associate, right, for the 1 year. Is it worth it to try it out and let it run and see whether we see the efficiency and that tool to be used by majority of the juniors and seniors. Then the proposition went through, right? So that is one of the budgets that I can say is to look into that. And earlier I've mentioned to focus on one particular area, don't digitalize the whole firm because the budget is going to burst, right? So one step at a time. And I think another area is also to talk to people because in fact, a lot of this type of awareness and etc., you don't really get it through social media. You don't really get it through, although we are exposed to all the YouTube and also the social media, etc. But because of the algorithm, if you're not searching for this type of items, it doesn't come to you, right? But I actually, in terms of like how I found out about the tools, how I found out about GPT, how I found out about all this technology, it's actually through I was lucky enough because I was in the MI SMPs committee, so I was invited to join the Transformation Award task force. So I managed to see some of the people how they have adopted it, and then from there is that maybe as a small firm with 2 people, they are also investing 100 over 1,000 into really building their workflow, right? So what am I as a firm that we have done to take this on, right? So that awareness is there, and talking to people that is more tech savvy, like especially talking to Stephen, these are people that are in the forefront of that. They will be able to give you some insights on how things are working and may be able to recommend certain tools, right? And then the exploration is definitely from us, because the key problem here is that when there are too many tools out there, we are always afraid to test out anything. The first thing is costing, second thing is the effort, and with enough research also you can't really tell. So it's always a recommendation from someone else. You may have a direction or guidance. So I would say that would be one of the ways to ease your direction in terms of looking into where these technologies are. Yeah.
Okay, great. So Tay says that basically budget is one of the key barriers, all right? And you also need to approach the project in a step-by-step manner, or try with the pilot first and then move on to the bigger projects. And also to get some advice from people who have done it before. So these are some of his advice. Stephen, do you have anything to add on to that?
Yeah, sure. Hopefully, I'll be able to complement what Wei Xuan just mentioned. I'll come from the angle of a few points, if I may share. I think first off, as a leader in an SMP, namely, I'm referring to the partners, directors, the principals, the senior managers. I think it is imperative that we must make sure we continue to learn and we check on ourselves whether we keep acquiring new knowledge or not. Now, acquire new knowledge also can be lazy one, unfortunately, because we all have CPD requirements. And this CPD requirement, whether you like it or not, is standard minima. It's the minimum requirement. I know we complain a lot that how to go and hit all these hours, audit license, you need 10 hours, then minimum 20 hours a year, then average 40, all those. But I'm also trying to bring about this point that it's not just about technical updates. And I'm referring to the auditing standards, the MFRSs and so on. It's not just about technical standard updates, isn't it? It's also about technology, or any of those mega trends happening out there, for that matter. We as a leader, or the leadership, needs training and updates, or should I say CPD, continuing professional development, on that or on those things as well. And of course, if I may propose, just be curious. I mean, I know we're professional, we're very focused, so if we are doing audit, we just whack audit. But can't we also just be curious, because we are business people, therefore we need to do business development, and business development is not just about refreshing technical standards, right? There are many aspects of business opportunities within an organization, within a going concern, that we need to do some work as well. Okay, so first off, learn, acquire new knowledge, be curious. Secondly, I want to bring up the point of reverse mentoring. I'm sure we have all seen this quote from Jack Ma where he has this philosophy that he works with people who are smarter than him. If you try and interpret that a bit, and I interpret it using my way, it's actually reverse mentoring, because for an organization, how much do we know? We have our limitations, So you are reliant on the team. You are reliant on talent. And better still, for technology, we are reliant on the young, actually. We can't say that because I'm the old fort in the firm, so I have the most wisdom and I'm the most intelligent, you all must listen to me. You keep practicing that kind of old school thinking, then the young would not be interested to join or work along with you. Then my suggestion about this reverse mentoring gone already, but use it to your advantage as well. And if I may, number 3, take calculated risk. I added the word calculated. Actually, I wanted to just say take risk. How can you be in business and not take risk? Forget about it. But let's say take calculated risk. That means, yes, we will have very limited knowledge about what this new technology is. We have very limited know-how or even prior experience in terms of where this technology is going to head towards. Yes, it promises all these efficiencies and all these new things, but is it ever going to realize? Well, take calculated risk. Make sure it's a risk that you are able to take and invest in. Risk manage it. And more importantly, just go and do something about it. Don't sit there and just, very scared, very scared, very scared. After 5 years, nothing done. So what the last but not least, just be progressive, and please don't be the barrier. Don't like your young people, your managers, they are coming to you, saying to you, they attended the SMP Digital Accelerator. Boss, we should really go and join this accelerator program. What's the benefit? Then you go and give your staff 10 reasons why we shouldn't join the program. Hey, come on, so don't be the barrier.
Okay, I think that very interesting points you raised, Stephen. I think one is learning. Okay, definitely. I think at this age, we all have to continuously upgrade ourselves. Okay, acquire new knowledge. Maybe just let me ask, for 2025, can I know, maybe for example, how many of you have acquired new knowledge in accounting or in technology, right? So always we need to keep asking this question. Learning is yes, definitely. And I also like the other point that you raised is the reverse mentoring. How often do we meet up with people who are more knowledgeable, more intelligent, more progressive? The last year, how many people have you met such people? Maybe take account of it. Sometimes we tend to meet the same group of people for lunch. You know what? There's one expert who said that every week for lunch, you should meet one person who's smarter than you. Think about it. I mean, anyway, that's interesting points that you have raised. Well, as technology changes, business process changes. So you have technology, business, and people. So people are also important. The impact on human behavior and the firm's culture becomes key. How can SMPs, SMP leaders manage the human factor of digital adoption to ensure staffs are empowered rather than not overwhelmed and not left out? Any one of you, any of the panel members want to start? How do you handle the human factors?
I can go first.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So I think in terms of from a leader perspective, handling people is to give them comfort, right? Is that the main thing is that we are not here to replace you with technology, right? And also is to repurpose and to do higher level things rather than going through that repetitive flow. And one of the things that I've recently been embarking on is to trying to automate or digitalize my internal workflow. One of the things is that while we have all these type of processes, SOPs, controls in place within the firm, but I feel that things could be more efficient, things could be more connected, things could be much more easier to cross-reference with each of the database. So I was even talking to a friend whether or not if to say I want to build a workflow system right from scratch that to what I want, is it possible or not, right? Then my friend just tell me actually sometimes you go on some of the database website where there are many nouns that you can actually try to build up that kind of database. So I did try one of it, and now like I have gotten my team to actually come into to work with me, right? Because the thing here is that very important one thing is that when we go into this kind of digital adoption, right, is to involve them in that transformation process so that they understand as well. Because first thing first, of course, as majority of all the SMPs are leaders, and we have limited time. We have work, we have the business part of things to look after. So you must also learn to delegate part of this process to the team so that they also learn the process. At the same time, they also understand how they can improve their own internal process so that they know what they want to build up to this system. So how I know about this is that there's this database system where a fellow practitioner also shared with me that he built this with one of his team. They took them 6 months to build this whole thing, right? Then he recommended to me to try it out. So then I took on to my team, and then I got my IT team, my those administrative team under me to come and look into this, and I asked them to explore, right? What are the functions that this system can do? What are we able to really connect all the database back together? How can we do this, right? So then what I'm sharing with them all this while is actually I want to ease your work. I want to be more efficient so that from one step to the other, when we go from our operational, from the client's acquisition until we go to execution, until the file archival, until we go into billing, until all this, as much as we can, we take away paper, and at the same time we get the processing part, the reviewing part, and also the finance team's hecticness to look through all the documents. Are we able to take up all these things? So not only from the audit perspective, but also from my overall workflow from beginning to end, am I able to run this whole thing through? And my purpose always when I'm sharing to the team is that I'm trying to ease your work. I'm not going to replace you, but when I ease your work already, then the next thing is that then you definitely can do more things. Similarly, when it goes to the audit perspective, when the juniors or the seniors, they are able to relieve themselves from more of this hectic works of blockchain verification, casting, checking, etc., then you can then train them more on analytical skill judgment area. Then that focus will be bring up faster rather than last time in the junior age it's just blockchain. Only the seniors only look into tax, but now our first year juniors also they look into tax already because the verification work much lesser or much efficient. So I would say that it's a repurpose, and you must assure them this is a repurpose and not a replacement. I think that is the key thing that let them feel that they are there. Yeah. Back to you, Doctor.
Okay. Okay. Great. I think you touched on higher level of thinking, which I agree. I mean, but basically we need to move people to strategic thinking rather than tactical, as I mentioned before. Stephen, do you want to add on to this? What Tay has said?
Yeah, thanks, Doctor. Yeah, I'll purely echo what Wei Xuan shared actually, and I can't agree more with Doctor's question, which basically alludes to leadership, isn't it? So when it comes to behavior and firm culture, like it or not, as leaders, we have to play our part. If you cannot lead by example, why should you even expect that your staff is going to be any different, right? So leadership, like it or not, is very, very mission critical when it comes to digital transformation. And if I may also emphasize or borrow from what Wei Xuan mentioned, it's always down to implementation, ladies and gentlemen. It's always down to implementation. If we cycle back to some of the earlier question, is it just simple that I'm the boss, I make a decision, or I put 50,000 on the table, we bought this software, boom, we're home free already. Then it becomes your problem. You people, why didn't you do your part? And then the question is, what are we doing? Okay, apart from saving some money from your Mercedes-Benz maintenance, to pay for the software, which you think is a lot of money. So in terms of leadership, again, we need to learn, we need to train, we need to lead by example, we need the awareness out there. And this is not just you. This is something that you need to get your whole organization on board so that, in Doctor's words, empower. How are we empowering the team and how are they being empowered? And in terms of implementation, if I may, let's look at firm level initiatives rather than, you get someone very, very junior, go and test it out or not, even if the thing fails, no one will know. Or do you want to lead by example and put the whole firm to upfront and tell them clearly that this is the strategic roadmap in terms of technology? All the leaders, you please participate and you come up with ideas, you do your research, you tell us, we crowdsource amongst our experts within the firm, where should we head towards? Then we commit, 3 years plan, 5 years plan. Don't do 10 years. In committee, we always say 3 years in normal life, in normal lifespan equals to 10 years in technology. So don't go and do 10-year plans on technology, please.
exactly.
But come up with that initiative. Do your leadership role as managing partner and push forward. Doctor, back to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I always give one perspective. I mean, to add on to what the panelists have mentioned, these three factors. Okay, as I mentioned before: technology, process, and people. I'll give you an example. If I work in a company which uses a lot of technology, AI, and so on, as compared to B, who works in another company that doesn't use much technology, they are traditional in their approach, etc. Who will be more innovative? Who will be more productive? Who will be more emotionally better? Who will have less stress and so on? So sometimes the human factor also depends on the organization. The more advanced, the more technology you adopt, I think you make it easier for the staff. You don't do repetitive tasks. You do more strategic thinking job. They will become more relevant. And also, if you ask me, a person who's working in a highly technological environment compared to a person who's not highly technology environment, who will be more creative? Definitely person with working in the technology. So it all relates. So one factor affects the other as well. So it's reverse if you look at this. So human is also prefer to work in an environment that is progressive. So that's another point to add on to that. Okay, moving on to the next questions. Okay, with rapid development, especially in the Gen AI, sorry, how can SMPs move beyond digitalization and towards more advanced tools to enhance their advisory services or stay future ready? Because I think Gen AI is key, and it's more than actually than just digitization. So how would what would be your advice in terms of how the role of AI and the future service? Stephen, would you like to start? I mean, you have done some work on AI and
Yeah, sure. So, if I may, a barrage of thoughts here. I'll come from the easier ones or the more famous ones, large language models.
Yeah,
I think first and foremost, as leaders, as practitioners, we have to first and foremost realize the nature of the technology. Yeah, there's so much talk about AI, and it's important not to mix up what we see from the movies versus the AI that we try to implement in the firm. So the if we break it down into smaller pieces, it's all large language models. The famous one and the easily accessible ones at the moment are large language models. Large language models essentially is a guessing game using very, very complex mathematics, on the rules of grammar to make it look like or sound like the technology knows what it is talking about. But actually it's a superb guessing game based on probability that the machine is doing. Now, if you note that that is what large language model does, and therefore that would be their strength, then it is up to us also at the architectural level or leadership level to then try to make a best guess basis. What sort of functionalities do we have in the firm that, for example, we want to cut costs, or we want to make it more efficient, or we want to find new revenue, that we can capitalize on this nature of the technology. But at the same time, I also want to say, apart from large language models, be very, very conscious that there are also other models being developed out there which you may or may not know of. For example, mathematical models, scientific models. Did you know that there are also legal reasoning models? Now, the reasoning comes with inverted comma. And so again, remember, I'm saying that it's a guessing game. It's not really, the like humans, the biological, neurological thing. But anyway, apart from legal reasoning, fintech risk models, financial technology models, for instance. So people are spending a lot of money to develop other models as well, apart from large language models. So then the question for us here in this circle is, who amongst us or in our circle are developing accounting models, accounting AI models? Yeah, using Copilot is one thing, but developing a model that can reason based on our knowledge, our experience, our accounting rules, that's a different ballgame altogether. Something food for thought, if I may, to put up here to everyone. But on a more practical side, again, Doctor's question is about how to use advanced tools to be future ready. Then my immediate thought are things like vibe coding. So amongst our circle, we do have people who are from audit background going around town teaching white coding. And these are specific for audit practice and accounting practices, meaning how do we use AI to help us create custom coded programs to automate our specific accounting processes. For example, those of you who are still doing reconciliation work, cough blood every day, still doing recon for the client, like for example, how do we use vibe coding to build automated bots to automate that, for instance. Right here, within one of our subcommittees, we got people doing that, okay? And other things like AI for categorization. Are we, like your accounting team, it's so difficult to recruit people, at the bookkeeping side. So are they still eyeballing every transaction and keying in and categorizing every transaction? Because today, with large language models, LLM technology can already help us with categorization, for instance. So all in all, I'm trying to allude to capacity building or building capability to implement. Now, I think Doctor also, as mentioned, he wants us to talk a little bit about being future ready. So let me also, if I may, dream here. I do a bit of daydreaming now, and talk a little bit about future services. Now, AI technology right now, it can already do customer service. Right now, here in Malaysia today. So how are we using AI, very powerful language models, to do customer service, for instance? Can we use it to do technical consultation? Don't give me 10 reasons why it won't work. Immediately then you're thinking, well, the complex standard, the 18 that just came out, how to use AI. No, I'm not talking about that, so just simple ones for internal use to start with. Then when you roll it out to outside, then do it in a more simpler form. Did you know there's a Singaporean company already doing this, very successful and widely implemented in Singapore? They also came to us, and we are also supporting some of their trainings down in Johor. Next, can we anticipate needs? Anticipate the client's needs. That means we have so much client data, So the clients that we are serving, can we use the analytics and the analysis and the data and the AI and the automation to also help us anticipate or help advise the client in terms of where are the flags, where are the issues, what's happening to their numbers and so on. We do this using Microsoft Excel anyway, but why not we do it on a more scalable manner using automated bots, for instance? Again, this is harnessing, this is using our strengths, combining it with technology and harnessing. And another one that I just wanted to throw to you is what about automated periodical reporting? For those of us who are doing bookkeeping work, for instance, I'm sure we are complaining that we are being paid peanuts to do all this work, need so much time cost. But how do you value add? How do you recraft the product? In doctors' words, innovate. Something that you've been doing for the past 30 years, you're still doing the same way. Hey, come on now, the food, you also don't want to eat the same food for the past 30 years. So, how to innovate our product within the boundaries of our bylaws and our professional requirements. Last thing that I just want to throw out there is data. Doctor, to share with you, when we embarked on this journey at the audit side for how could we use AI further, my team threw me this challenge. They say we want to use AI to do audit risk assessment, but for our auditors in the core, we have a specific ISA just governing how we do risk assessment. And my jokers come and tell me, hey, Steven, so you got all this access to AI technology, so can we use it to do risk assessment? So I can immediately admit to you, the problem is data already. All those information that we have in our files is hard copy, right? Years and years of audit files hard copy one. It's not digitized. The AI got nothing to learn, man. No learning, no model. No lah, cannot lah. That's also one of the roadblock that I have in trying to go further, push the envelope in terms of AI and audit related technology. But yeah, Dr. back to you.
Okay. So Stephen, I think you have given away a lot of your trade secret to the others. So yeah, I think what Stephen said is definitely is a points to consider for all the SMPs. Expert. Okay, so I think we all need to think of a new revenue. It's not the same old services, the same old auditing, etc. Okay, I think that will slowly be eaten up by AI. So there is you need to create new opportunities, new innovations in this accounting area. So okay, for example, can I build an AI model for accounting purpose? Because you have a lot of data, you can train the model and build an AI model, and you can do a subscription model to other firms. Okay, that's another business. And is it difficult to build? I think it's not. Then Stephen talked about vibe coding. Maybe I will explain a little bit of vibe coding. With an example, I have a staff who is in mass communication, and she wanted to solve some problems in analyzing documents and so on. So because the ChatGPT couldn't do it, so I said, just go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to write a code for you, a Python code. So the Python code, and then I told her how to execute it, and that's it. And she got the results. Today, she solves many problems, writing Python codes without understanding a single line of Python code. All right, so that's what the future is. The future is not about IT people come to write programs. Every one of you here can write programs to solve your problems. So that's the vibe coding. And of course, Stephen also touched on customer service is done, Q&A on online queries, all that AI can do. Right? You don't need. Of course, you need to do. You need to test well before deploying them, to ensure there's no errors and so on. So I mean, there are many more, which that we have discussed. I don't know whether Stephen has said everything. I don't know, you do have anything to add on?
I think he covers majority of it already.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that maybe bring back to to be a bit more for the fellow SMPs out there, how do they actually start in terms of how they do, and in terms of their current development, how do they move beyond the basic digitalization? I would say that maybe just really start with the large language model like ChatGPT, etc. And don't use the free version. Invest in terms of buying the paid version, right? There's an enterprise version that is that SOC 2 type 2 type of insurance, right? So use those things, and then because you are also afraid the data are being leaked out, etc. So one thing is that you extract information that you want to ask and things like that. Like just now, what Stephen has shared, and also what Doctor has shared, you don't need to know coding to do certain things. So in other words, is that you just need to know what is your ultimate outcome that you want, and then you can try to get the GPT to help you get it. And the most important thing is subsequently learning how to enhance and train your own GPT in the sense to then be able to utilize it. My example is that say like for many of us, the financial statement disclosure checklist, right? If you want to ask a junior to go through line by line, it's gonna take forever. Yeah. So and these are database that is fixed and of which you can upload this into the system, then you try to get another company's financial statements. If you're afraid, you take away the names, etc. You send it up and then you see where are the missing links. Then because sometimes they'll throw out too many questions and not little bit things as well. So from there, then how do you then enhance it and ask for more specific questions? And then you enhance your quality. And by training one model like that and moving forward, you will be able to use it on other, and then the efficiency comes. So it's personally I use GPT a lot, trying to and one thing is I still don't trust it 100%. I always tell my team, don't trust it 100% because it still gives you the wrong answers. You need to be able to take judgment over it. But however, it does give a very quick guidance, direction in terms of where I should be leading towards. And moving forward, challenging, like someone that can spar with you. Instead of now I need to talk to another partner, I spar with the ChatGPT. Yeah, so but I think the GPT yesterday, I think it's a bit frustrated with me because I keep challenging the accounting treatment. So this is not correct. Then oh yeah, you're correct. Then they keep changing. So I said I'm not gonna trust you anymore after that.
I think what they said is key. I usually I do a demo to some of the accountants. I take for example a profit and loss account for 5 years, and I put it into ChatGPT and ask it to produce a management report. It's just fantastic. It does all the analysis. These are P&L with thousands of lines of transactions. So it does all the analysis. It draws the graphs. It gives you recommendation what you need to do. What's the trend over there? Okay, it's just crazy sometimes. So I think there's a lot of opportunity in this area. Okay, for accountants, right? So I'm aware of the time. I think we have maybe one last question is that why should everyone join this accelerator program? I mean, they say some of them say, oh, the money is so little. Why should I join this program? Yeah. Okay. Maybe Stephen and Tay, what would you say to the audience?
Well, Doctor, if I may, I'll keep it short. I think the key value of the accelerator program is will come from the workshop, the mentoring, and the access to experts. Those are really worth a lot of money. And I'm not going to tell the audience how much we budgeted, but I can say it's a lot of money. We are also paying for all those to happen. So 5,000 ringgit, most of us in the audience we have lah, so that one is an encouragement lah. What's really, really highly valuable, if I may, is we are here with our combined strength as an industry, as a progressive industry, to tap technology to accelerate our tech adoption. That's what it is. And for those of us out there who are managing partners for a long time, you know what I'm saying when I say that our journey as a leader sometimes is very lonely as well. So what's more valuable to have our peers and more so a sounding board with the mentors, with the experts, and go on this accelerator journey together. And we have a secretariat who's gonna kacau you and remind you, hey, let's timeline, Gantt chart, where are you now? Hey, do, hey, cough up, show results. So these are the allies, right, that you want to have as well, Doctor.
Okay, thanks, Tay. Anything to add on?
I think just one key point is that in that sense, I think the main thing is actually to have fellow practitioners that are different backgrounds that can come together and then to try to go through this journey together. Now then as a team, then you were able to learn from each other. At the same time, you have mentors that will be there to able to train you up and then to give you a different perspective from a tech perspective, right? Because not many of us are blessed enough that we are able to have that type of friends or associates that are able to give that kind of insights. So this program will be able to straight away bring you up like few steps ahead just because you talk to people like them and then they will give you insight and guidance and then you can actually do not go through some of the mistakes along the way, so then it speeds up your adoption as well. So I think that would be the main thing to go into this program.
So I think you heard so the audience, okay, that it is just not the money. I think there's a lot of MIS put in a lot of effort at the back in terms of advisory, okay, bring in experts, okay, guide you through the entire process. So I think that's very valuable, I think. All right, let's hear, from the audience, okay, the questions. So I have one question here, okay. The first one, can you, Stephen and Tay, see the questions? So one is that, okay, and if an SME can only invest in one digital improvement this year, what would that be and why? Anybody?
ChatGPT. ChatGPT Teams, not very expensive. $25 per month per user. If you pay annually, if you pay monthly, then it's $30 USD, right? And then I think minimum you have to, so means your investment will be $50 USD. You multiply by 4, 200 ringgit. It's not a very heavy investment, but you give you a lot more benefit. But you have to use it, right? The key thing here is to use that technology. Yeah.
Okay, Stephen?
I will come from the angle of core activities, CORE. So give some thought into what are your core activities that are driving revenue or things that are your core costs that are driving up your inefficiencies or your cost. And I think Wei Xuan mentioned this earlier as well. Go and whack the part where it is most painful. So if you're in audit, at the very least, audit software, if you're doing payroll tech, if you're already very, very advanced in the auditing journey, then to Wei Xuan's point, AI. But with AI, also be more specific, which part, which type, for what purpose. But my message is CORE. Look for your core activities.
Yeah, again, good. The core activities. Maybe I can also add one more. If you really want to look at the technology, okay, for the next 2 years, is AI agent or agentic AI. So I think it's good to explore that. It's not expensive. It's good to look at automating some of your processes as well. So of course, ChatGPT, Gemini are fundamentals. I think we all should have that. Okay, of course, it all relates back to what Stephen said, must relate to your core business. Okay, so that's okay. I hope I kept that answered. Okay, that question. And then the second question, okay, are basic tools like Teams, Microsoft apps, and cloud systems enough for firms to survive today, or is it a deeper digital transformation needed? Well, I'll leave it to the panel. What do you think on this question? And there are 16 people who voted for this, so something that to think about.
Wei Xuan, you want to start first or I go first?
You go first. You go first. Let me think first.
Okay. So, Doctor Rasmimi, with dengan izin, as usual, very very blunt answer. Come on lah, Microsoft Teams, that one is bare minimum lah. Your Microsoft app, Microsoft Office, you use how many years already? As an intern, you're already using, come on, So, of course, not enough lah. So these are standard minima. This is the minimum thing that you need to be doing so that you just hit the bare minimum to be relevant, man. I mean, come on, you tell me you want your new staff to come into the firm and you're still using 7-column hard copy, man, you know? So no, I mean Teams, Microsoft. Okay, cloud is a bit technical. It depends on what type of cloud you're talking about. Cloud ERP or GPT is also a type of cloud, or you're just talking about the bare minimum, your internal accounting software. You move from one desktop to cloud. Like, come on, that one double lah. And also, it is purely survival mode lah, as this person this participant has put there. So I think because this question came in quite early lah, so let's give it the benefit of doubt as well. But I think our message today is we need to accelerate. That means you've already taken technology to a certain level already, and then we are bringing this program to you. Bring the expert in, bring the mentor in, put money on the table for you as well. Let's go faster, let's go bigger, let's go deeper. That's our message today, if I may. But Richard.
Okay, I think I echo what Stephen has said, but I don't dare to play so much monkey. but I think but I would say it's a very inconvenient truth is that if you say Teams, Microsoft app and clouds are now whatever you survive, and it is that it is really not enough, right? That's why I kept saying that mention is that you will be replaced by people that is very good with AI, right? So if you don't go and explore AI now, right, in any form of the easiest is generative AI, which is like ChatGPT, Gemini, all this. You can start to learn from these processes so that you get from a higher level to actually push for this first. Because if not, right, really enough is that as the technique go, and you see by probably 2030, probably I think like Tesla, they all are now going into getting like self-driving cars already. So the technology advancement is so fast to the extent that I'm actually worrying about how my children are going to grow up. What are they going to do in the future? And actually, I'm a person that I don't really have much anxiety on. But then recently, because of looking at this kind of technology advancement, right, it got me worried from a firm perspective. How do I cope with the market, and how do I be competitive? And at the same time, I'm worried for my children, how they will be able to accelerate in their future. So if we stay as much as we use Teams, Microsoft, these are basic things, right? And in fact, by right now, you should not even be using paper for working papers anymore. You should be paperless already. You should be using softwares to ensure that the quality and also the archival, the compliance in terms of everything flows nicely. You should already be there. Now the next thing is how can we incorporate AI? And of course, AI is not easy to incorporate to audit. So go from different perspective, like from accounting treatments in terms of advisory, in terms of sparring someone to have. But again, be cautious in terms of how the GPT helps you, and make sure that how you can subsequently enhance the GPT to be able to give you a more solid answer. And that's actually, in fact, that is what I'm trying to do like yesterday and today, to trying to get more information to it so that it gives me it doesn't hallucinate by giving me an answer that's not relatable. So really have to start learning. And then YouTube, Google, all this, we have a lot of information that we can learn. So you don't know anything, just Google, YouTube, you can find. Yeah.
Okay, great. I think I mean, if I were to add on to that, I think it's using things like Teams, Microsoft is like still using a bicycle when people are all driving cars. So there is definitely a need to move to higher level of technology, because it's not only about survival. Okay, it's about losing your business, right? You don't continue, because I think the world out there, especially some of the in Europe and in America, a lot of technology adoption is happening very fast. So we need to move much faster than this, right? So just a point too. Okay, let's
one suggestion to mess up the sequence a bit. I see that there's a question in Pigeonhole for Puan Rasmimi. Can I request for Wei Xuan and myself to take a short break and then
sure, yeah, go ahead. Let's display the question. So yeah, can we have the question up? So it says, what are the most common digital challenges you see among SMPs, and how does the MIA SMP Digital Accelerator Program help address them?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Thanks, Stephen, for taking a break so that I can respond to
Go
the
ahead,
question.
Rashmi.
So for this particular question in terms of the digital challenges and how this program will help the SMPs. So when we did the survey in 2025, some of the barriers of adopting technology identified by SMPs are really high business costs, lack of funding, as well as limited understanding of the benefits of adopting technology. So if we look at this program, of course, we are offering this funding assistance of 5,000 ringgit. And I think Visual as well as Stephen have mentioned a few times that this come with the mentorship sessions with the industry experts. So these are really very valuable to SMPs, so that the mentors can offer practical guidance and support throughout that adoption journey. And if you face any challenges throughout the way, you can actually discuss with your mentor, so you are not alone. You have someone on the side to actually help you, and Stephen has mentioned a number of times as well that you can actually speak and share with your fellow participants in this program. So hope this really, I think the key takeaway from this program is you are not doing this alone. We are doing this together. So hopefully with the togetherness, it will help you to continue be motivated to complete your digital adoption. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Rashmi. Okay, I'm looking at one more question. Technology is only as effective as people using it. What cultural shift are needed? I think we have addressed this, but is there any one or two points that any of the panelists want to add? What's the cultural shift?
Lead by example.
Come again? Sorry.
Lead by example. I think
Lead
that's
by
the main.
example. Okay.
Yeah.
Steven?
I can only pray hard that things are very different compared to 10, 15 years ago. I remember those days my Datuk boss throwing me into the deep, asking me to lead the audit software adoption project. This was 16, 17 years ago. Those days, you have the larger firms talking about using all this software, but the rest of us is we're still okay with the simpler softwares or even Excel. Honestly, at that time, it was almost like the project manager against the whole firm. And then I was also very young, and I took the approach that do or die one. You're either on the same boat as me or you're not. I mean, it was a very difficult time, but with what MIA has done over the past 10 years, I mean, you must be hiding under a rock somewhere if you haven't got the memo that tech adoption is the way to go. I'm also confident that nowadays with the younger generation that we have in the firms, they are digital natives. They born, they already have an iPhone in hand. Versus those of us when we born, it's like, I don't know, we're still talking about climbing up trees. So times are very different. You have very, very different resources, human resources that you work with. I still come back to my earlier point. Make sure you are not the barrier. If you are like me, unfortunately the most eldest person in the firm, make sure you are not the barrier. Be the facilitator, be the moderator. Help the younger generation. Do wonders and innovate. Be that person, and you don't have to be a super expert in technology to do it. Because you're using people who are smarter than you. That's all of perspective.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. I think there's one more question, Rashmi. Okay, it says session end. Okay, so it's one more question on, is there a cost? I saw the question. Yeah. Is there a cost, okay, to participate in the accelerator program? Rashmi, you want to highlight?
Yeah, so there is no cost at all in terms of money, but there will be a cost in terms of time that you need to spend, because you need to spend attending the workshop, you need to spend doing the technology adoption, the mentoring sessions, all that. So cost-wise free, but we need you to spend your time and effort. Thank you.
Okay. And one last question, probably. I like this question. We are too small to go digital. What is your response? We are too small to go digital.
You can guess my response, but Wei Shen, do you want to be diplomatic and go first?
Yeah, I think there's never too small to go digital. In fact, one of my friend that is a single practitioner, right? She runs the family's secretarial business and tax, right? So she also have adopted things into technology, right? Systems that is able. Of course, you don't go by look for those that is pay per use type of software rather than the subscription model type. You can that could potentially be able to ease your cash flow per se, right? But it is not too small. If it's too small to go digital, the risk for you is that then you will really be replaced very soon, because your efficiency would definitely be outpaced by someone that is very 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 good with AI and digital. So my suggestion is that to look for softwares that are pay per use, right? And also taking references like in terms of like my friend's case, single practitioner, but yet again she's adopting technology very well, and then efficiencies were extremely well because she really go and subscribe and really take the challenge and learn the software. Yeah, so I think Stephen would have a more scary reply, but let Stephen do it.
Let me start with a story. So many years ago, I was earmarked for partnership. So I was audit principal, and I was earmarked to become partner. In the wisdom of my boss, they sent me for executive coaching. Executive coaching really changed my perspective to life and career. Very high impact, very expensive as well, unfortunately. But in one of the coaching sessions, I actually said to my coach that I don't want to become partner. It makes things very different. I'm very good at what I do. I'm happy with what I'm doing. But once I become a partner, then I go and do business development lah. Go and socialize lah with people lah. So I'm out of my comfort zone like that. My very highly paid executive coach basically bluntly just said to me, don't give yourself excuse. It's an excuse. You need to move on in your career, and this is the natural step that you need to take. Take up the challenge. Just do it, man. I'll say to you, whoever asked this question, same thing lah. Come on lah, don't give yourself excuse lah. I mean, we've been saying in MIA for the longest time, start small, start simple. There are so many tools out there that I believe Rasmimi and Diana also shared with you. It's right there on our MIA website. You have a whole plethora catalog of technology that you can adopt. With what $9.90 a month subscription. Some of it you can even have free trial. Sorry, it's just an excuse. You have to start somewhere, and there is no such thing as being too small. Once you think like that, I quote my coach, you are giving yourself an excuse.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, Stephen. And maybe one feedback from me is that when you are small, you have the highest opportunity to go digital. In fact, you must go digital when you're small. All right, that's where it really helps. If you look at some of the new startups today, it's a one-man show. Okay, one man runs the company, the marketing, HR, finance, all done by AI. Okay, so that's how people. So there is a plenty of opportunity if you are small. All right, so take that opportunity. Thanks. Okay, I think time is up. So thank you, okay, everyone. Thank you, okay, the panelists, Steven and Tay, and also Rasmi. Okay, thank you for being here. I think it is you gave some very strong and critical points as well as insights into how we can approach the the adoption of technology. So that's thank you, the panelists, and to the audience. I'm sure you would have gained quite a lot from the panelists. And I think you should, those of you who are not familiar with technology and not adopted technology, I think this program, the Accelerator program is crucial for you. And we would like as many participants as possible, to participate in this, Accelerator program. With that, thank you very much. Rasmi, to you or to Nurul.
Yeah.
Thank you, Professor Dr. David, and our panelists, Mr. Steven and Mr. Vezman, for your time and for your sharing your invaluable perspective with us today. Thank you, everyone, for sending in the question. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now reached the end of the session. A gentle reminder to answer our post-event survey form, which is shown on the screen and will be provided to you later via email. Once again, the Malaysian Institute of Accountants is pleased to invite all SMPs to participate in the MIA SMP Digital Accelerator program. Please take note that the application period opens from 15 January 2026 and will close on 28 February 2026. To assist with your preparation, you may scan the QR code on the screen to view the full program details and access the submission checklist. Don't miss this opportunity to accelerate your digital journey and ensure your practice remain resilient in the digital economy. For any assistance, please email to digitaleconomy@mia.org.my. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you gain valuable insights from today's webinar. Have a wonderful evening, and we look forward to seeing you in our future events. Thank you.